Hello, it is the weekend. Finally, it's upon us. Temperatures across the board, not too bad. Some of us trending a bit below seasonal, some of us above, especially on Sunday. Looking at you, Ontario. But let's dive right into our story. As we head out to the east, we have this low off the coast, kind of battling it out. High pressure towards the south, and then this sharp frontal boundary. Towards the south of that sharp frontal boundary, we're actually getting quite the warm sector, which means a really good pump up of temperatures. So that warm front is approaching. It's going to bring with it some rain to central, southern parts of the province of Ontario, and slowly throughout the day on Saturday and in through Sunday as well, those pop-up showers towards the south. What you will see is behind that warm front, ahead of that cold front, that's where we will not only have some really warm conditions, we'll also have a thunderstorm risk in play. So we're going to continue to talk about this. Severe thunderstorms, if possible, through Sunday, with that all associated, and then as well those rain showers widespread to St. Marie and as well regions towards the south and through Sudbury. That's where we will experience the most rain for the rest of your Saturday, also getting into some of the rain for Atlantic Canada towards the south and Newfoundland. We'll continue that story, but since it is the weekend, we're moving into more summer months. You may find yourself close to the water enjoying, but here are some life-saving tips you might need. We have more videos like this, and a reason why, if you love storms, you need to follow our storm chasers. This is where you can find them, and Jacqueline Woodall took this photo and this video. Thanks so much, Jacqueline. And our storm hunters continue to work in the field. Today, Nebraska, a down day, and then Oklahoma. Be sure to follow along. We are finally going to be experiencing some summer-like weather. Hello, Amanda Weldon along with you. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. 10 degrees Sunday morning, feels like 9. But check this out, by the afternoon, 25. It feels like 30. But note that icon, thunderstorm risk in the mix. So I'll time it out for you. Let's get into it. We have got our Saturday already planned out. Saturday looking pretty okay down towards the south, up towards central regions. If you are headed up to cottage country, you may get a passing shower. Even for Toronto, the overnight hours Sunday into Monday, you could see that as well. Or just a passing shower in the afternoon, and then a cold front to track behind. That's going to be actually bringing us our strongest potential in the GTA for thunderstorms. And as you can tell by our future radar, you see these cells pop up, right? Sunday in the afternoon and evening hours. Well, there is a likelihood to see stronger storms pop up in the extreme southwest, as well as this kind of trifecta between Parry Sound, Barrie, and Bancroft. And that's all because this is where we have the strongest amount of CAPE, convective available potential energy, an ingredient in thunderstorms. When you can start to see the stronger ones come, usually you have stronger CAPE available too. So that's why we were seeing that. And it's not a really particularly moisture-laden system, but towards the north, we've got that 40 to 60 millimeters. Sudbury, you've got 30 plus, and for Toronto, just really that 5. And that's all because, you know, if you have a cell over top of you, you can also get heavy downpours of rain. So you could overexceed on those totals, but watch this. This afternoon, we already kind of talked about this for Saturday, 12 degrees, but then as we move through Sunday, those temperatures are going to bump up quite a lot. Windsor, London, feeling like 33, and by the time we reach Monday, that cold front passes, we are at 16 degrees. Now, gusty conditions as well will be found around the lakes just as this system moves on through. Nothing too much to write home about, but speaking about the lakes, what we continue to focus on actually is the level of the lakes, currently at 75.74 meters for Lake Ontario. But if you are boating, you might want to watch this. I hope I get the chance to catch a sunset in through the end of the long weekend. Of course, work in the morning show, not exactly the most ideal, but sunrises we catch for sure. Saturday afternoon, 12 degrees for you in Toronto. By the evening hours, we're at 9, and you can notice some rain in the mix here too. We are going to get into our more severe thunderstorm risk with Matthew Grinter in a moment's time, but I also want you to keep this in mind. Those lakes continue to rise, and they're expected to do so and even able to do so in through the beginning of June. So we have 75.74 meters, that current level of Lake Ontario. If you are heading out, doing anything this weekend, definitely be careful because we are edging closer and closer to that 2017 peak. And the average normally this time of year is around 75 meters. So something to keep in mind, those waters are rushing quite quickly and riding very high. So even the edges, the shorelines are actually really at risk of erosion. So we have a warm front coming on through, low pressure bringing some active weather, but this actually sparked a lot of active weather stateside, and meteorologist Matthew Grinter is going to take you through what this means for us. Thanks so much, Matthew. Well, by the time we reach Monday, it's actually going to feel quite cooler than that because that cold front's slicing on through. So make sure you enjoy it if you are a lover of the heat when it comes to the summer. With that low, this is what the widespread version of Canada looks like Sunday night. We kind of get into a little scenario where fireworks may not be the best choice, but Monday could be a great day or evening for you to do that. A quick look at your 7-day forecast. Your locals start now. We have got that long weekend kind of feeling, unless you're in the Atlantic, of course. Nonetheless, it is a weekend, and we are here to enjoy. Amanda Weldon filling in for Kristen Clare. Out in the east, this is what we're dealing with, that upper low setup off the coast, still bringing in some moisture for the Atlantic, and we are seeing high pressure as well towards the south in Ontario. And we're getting this little ridge. Now, what does that mean? We get a southerly flow. This warm sector right behind that warm front had that cold front. We are seeing a southerly flow and bringing with it active weather and quite warm conditions, actually into the 20s, feeling like into the 30s for some. Hello. Well, it's that first warm front that cuts on through Sunday. We'll start to experience it through Saturday, actually later in through the day in northern parts of the province, and then we'll start to see it and feel it a little bit more in through the day on Sunday for the south. It's the cold front also that sweeps on behind that will bring us that higher potential to see some possible severe storms towards the south, and that's going to be more of that evening story. Couple things to deal with here. More strong gusts that we're thinking about versus the heavy downpours of rain. Now, if you do get a cell over top of you, you could get heavy downpours of rain. But this system isn't necessarily saturated, so it's a bit more moisture starved. Towards the north, Sault Ste. Marie, you got that 40 to 60 millimeter mark. Towards the south, Toronto, look, you only got that 5 millimeter mark unless you get a cell right over top of you. For the Atlantic, we are dealing with the rain still to come. Parts of Cape Breton, Newfoundland, and even snow as well possible, just because we're drawing in those cooler conditions for Newfoundland across the province there. The next one to come, well, that will be more into the beginning of the week. But for the Avalon, 15 to 30 millimeters for Cape Breton. You've even got that 10 to 20, and looking at a swath potential of snow through the interior of the province, that's there too. For the west coast, we've got high pressure in the interior. Off the coast, a little bit of a dry slot. And the interior for the prairies, quite gusty. So if you are doing any fireworks or anything like that, please double check that it's safe to do so. On the west coast, there we go. We do have that dry slot. And with that being said, fire season is in full swing. You don't want to be the reason why one starts. So let's talk campfire safety as we are in a long weekend. We may be below seasonal for many cities across the country over the next little while through the long weekend. Actually, southern Ontario, you will be experiencing temperatures that may feel into the 30s, so that's well above seasonal. But with that on our doorstep, top of mind, summer. Our summer forecast is a full day event. It is taking place Monday, May 27th. We sure do hope that you join us. Hello, it is the weekend. Finally, it's upon us. Temperatures across the board, not too bad. Some of us trending a bit below seasonal, some of us above, especially on Sunday. Looking at you, Ontario. But let's dive right into our story. As we head out to the east, we have this low off the coast, kind of battling it out. High pressure towards the south, and then this sharp frontal boundary. Towards the south of that sharp frontal boundary, we're actually getting quite the warm sector, which means a really good pump up of temperatures. So that warm front is approaching. It's going to bring with it some rain to central, southern parts of the province of Ontario, and slowly throughout the day on Saturday and in through Sunday as well, those pop-up showers towards the south. What you will see is behind that warm front ahead of that cold front, that's where we will not only have some really warm conditions, we'll also have a thunderstorm risk in play. So we're going to continue to talk about this. Severe thunderstorms, if possible, through Sunday with that all associated, and then as well those rain showers widespread, Sault Ste. Marie, and as well regions towards the south and through Sudbury. That's where we will experience the most rain. For the rest of your Saturday, also getting into some of the rain for Atlantic Canada towards the south and Newfoundland. We'll continue that story, but since it is the weekend, we're moving into more summer months. You may find yourself close to the water enjoying, but here are some life-saving tips you might need.